Hello, hello, hello. Here we are. We're the masters of the universe. Random. But for whatever reason, Highlander was in my head. Oh, that's going to be such an old reference. I don't know how many of you guys will know Highlander. That was a good show. Anyway, we're back. Turning up. Let's get into it. Yesterday we started building out this update function. And we're going to carry on with that. We had an if checking that the value didn't contain the ID. And we're going to add another condition. So yeah, if you use Excel, you know you have an equal sign normally at the beginning of a cell to indicate a calculation should be used and spreadsheet function should be evaluated. Use the AND operator to add a second condition to your if statement that also checks if the first character of value is equals. So we're strictly checking that the first element in the array that is value is an equal sign. We're strictly checking the equal there. Cool. Just an arrow formula. So we're going to build some functionality that will be parsing our inputs. Because if, for instance, we're to write here equals sum of x, y, z, we want to be able to like capture each element and see what we need to be doing. So let's create a new formula for that. So it's interesting this idea of having formulas within formulas declared within formulas, and not having it just like at the top. It's going to take me some getting used to, but it's interesting. So cool. Okay. So I want us to have an ID to text our function. The other thing I'm learning is like literally take things step by step. So before I would have got myself in like a bit of a just got a bit confused. So I'll get myself a bit worked up about the fact that I've got all of these things I need to be doing, and I'll be trying to envision everything at once. But what I'm realizing, and what you sort of learn very quickly, is breaking things down into what's the next step. And you see this on the in the certification projects as well, is when you break it down with your pseudocode into step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and I'm just dealing with step 1, it makes it so much easier to do. So the way that they've even structured this makes it easy. So I'm like, okay, I need an arrow function, easy enough to do. Now, in my arrow function, I'm going to be doing something else. I don't have to think about this whilst I'm just creating my arrow function. because it's been broken down for me. So now I can move on to the next step, which is in the ID to text function. It should return the result of calling find on the cells array with a callback function. That's so cool. At this point, I don't even need to care. I can just go, all right, so we're doing a find. Yeah, we're going to return a find. So I'm gonna start with a return, and then I can refactor, which is what I like. If I need to do at this point in my head, it's still easier to do a return and then build out the functionality as opposed to do an implicit return. But what I can do is do a return, build it out, make it verbose, whatever. And then once I have it all dialed down, if necessary, I can then refactor it, remove the return, and make it an implicitly returned function that works a little bit easier. But anyway, cool. So I know I need to return the result of calling cells find, and there I need to give a implicitly returned our function that takes, I'm going to do cell and returns ID. Cool. Yeah, so here we're doing that, and now because I know what's going on here, I think I can just do that and say that. That's a big smile. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I was saying was I can just refactor it. So I had it cool, built it out, returned this with the full arrow function syntax. But then because I realized, it's only returning one thing, cool, I can make that implicit. Just build that out. And so it's maybe a 2 steps, and as you progress, I imagine that will become much more naturally, in the same way as an arrow functions come naturally before. That would be go and check the syntax, open up my notes, what's an arrow function, how do I do it? But now I hear arrow function, I know how to do it like that. Eventually these sorts of things will make themselves obvious to me, and that's the beauty, I think, of the consistent coming in. So cool. And here's a quick message from our enabler. Let's take a breath. Oh, sorry, I'm on the next one, isn't it? Your ID to text function currently returns an input element. Update it to return the value of that input element. Okay, so so this is interesting. I don't think I can just stick the value at the end of this. I might be able to just stick the value. I don't think that will work. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, because I could have sort of ported this onto another variable, say variable cell data, and then just return cell data.value. But I can just chain it along. So that's quite cool. And I guess here it's easier because whether it's right or wrong will be obvious to me. If you're doing this like in a production sort of scenario where you don't have it checking your code, you'd want to start using like the console logs and stuff like that, and various IDEs, which is the environment, effectively the environment that we're working in. But IDE would be a program that you'd be building your program within. Some of those have some of these checks and balances for you, so that you can do some of these tests as you're going in. But yeah, cool. So you need to be able to match cell ranges in a formula. Cell ranges can look like A1 to B12 or A3 to A25. You can use regular expression to match these patterns. If I could share, I'm talking a lot this one, I feel like, because it's been a while. I think it's easy, and so something that I just caught myself doing was, I see regular expression and at the back of my mind it's like panic. Like it's not even like a massive panic, like stop dead in my tracks type panic, but it's panic enough where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be hard, isn't it? If that makes sense. And it's like, it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be that way, because if you do that, you are automatically limiting yourself, and you don't need to do that. So, yeah. Start by declaring a range regex variable and assign a regular expression that matches A through J. Use a capture group with a character class to achieve this. Okay, cool. Again, we can break it down. So we know we need range x is equal to, and if you don't know, you don't know. So I'm going to be cheeky and literally search this, and I might put it through. No, there's no point. So which is A through J. So let's see. Fancy cheat sheet. Oh, that's nasty. So this is what I want. I want this range A through J capture group with a character class. Okay, so I want to remind myself of like a character class, what that is. I'm just going to save that because it's such a good resource. So why not save it? I'll organize that later, but cool. So I think it's just this. I think this is the character class, and so I want that. So I want square brackets A to J. do. Okay, cool. So I need to do something to make it a regular expression, which I can't remember off the top of my head. So I'm gonna go back to my, what was it that was, what was it? It wasn't a role-playing game. The form validation? Palindrome checker. Yes. So I had 2 constant rejects is equal to so I think it's alright. Yeah, so I think it's the literal concept pattern. So I think it's these two, those patterns, those slashes that make it a regular expression. So I think it's just that and that. Yeah. Capture group. Again, this is great because here it's telling me, and hopefully I'll learn this and not forget it as easily. But cool, capture group. That's the other thing as well. It's like, if you go to one resource and it doesn't make sense, go to another one. Cool. So the capture group is the normal parentheses. Okay, I'm gonna have to read up on my regular expression. And to match the cell letters, to say your range product needs to match the cell number. Cell numbers in your sheet range from 1 to 99. Add a capture group after your letter capture group. Your new capture group should match 1 or 2 digits. First digit should be 1 through 9, and the second digit should be 0 through 9. The second digit should be optional. Okay. So add another capture group. Alright, I think I'm not gonna finish this one. I need to read up on regular expressions, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And then come back and then tackle this one better. So, cool. I'm gonna do that. And yeah. Guys, thank you for showing up, checking in. I hope this is helpful if you're having a read, if you're having a watch for your own progression through it. But yeah, as always, keep showing up.